Hello there! Welcome to Art Attack. Hey, what do you get if you cross a little bit of creativity, a little bit of genius, and a little bit of madness? You get this stuff. Here's how to put your artwork in the spotlight. A spot of tidying up turns into an amazing big art attack, and there's a way to frame your artwork with a bit of a twist.
Mission Control to Apollo 73, we're receiving your signal loud and clear. Why don't you report, over?
Well, Mission Control, it's a beautiful intergalactic alien landscape with crystal mountains, strange plant life, and a molten metallic lake, like nothing I've ever seen on Earth before. Over.
We're losing you, Apollo 73.
Mission Control, can you hear me?
Apollo 73, Apollo 73, come in. Do you think you're going to make it?
Well, of course I'm going to make it. In 4 easy parts. A 4-part attack. Over. First, make the base of your alien planet. Now for this, cut a large oval shape out of cardboard box card. Then scrunch up some newspaper and start to build up a landscape. Just taping all these balls into place as you go. Use lots of tape for this as you put them into position. Then build up some higher regions and twist to make good mountain tops. And cover the whole of the base with ridges and valleys. Make some longer twists of newspaper and tape a few of them together in bunches to make sort of stalagmites. So we put one patch here, and then maybe some single ones just dotted around the landscape. Then loop some newspaper into rings and tape them on to make craters. And again, plenty of tape. And how about some arches in the rock, like intergalactic bridges? And some rolled up balls of newspaper for boulders. So that's the newspaper base to your landscape. Next, you need to make it a bit more alien. So imagine weird and wonderful things that are not of this world. How about using a piece of aluminium foil backed on card and cut into a wobbly shape for a molten metal lake? Paste on some PVA glue and press that into place. Now, these weird alien mushroom plants are pieces of cut-up sponge stuck on the end of curly pipe cleaners. Just tape a couple of those on as well. And take the middle bit out of a couple of run-out ballpoint pens and you've got some crystal mountains. Just press those into the landscape. Then when you're happy, mix some PVA glue half and half with water and paste a layer of tissue paper over your landscape. Seal all the joins but avoid the crystal mountains and the molten lake. So when you've covered it all and it's dry, it'll look something like this, and the texture of the tissue paper really adds to the rocky effect. Okay, so it's beginning to look very strange, but now it needs some unearthly colours. Paint your landscape using unexpected colours, like this purple. And how about light pink for around the top of the arch? And the craters. Add in a bit of white to highlight the edges. And a nice ice blue for those stalagmites, with dark blue on the tips. You could even cut out leaf shapes from coloured paper and glue those on together to make some dangerous poisonous plant life. And add some wisps of cotton wool for mist and gases. And the best thing about it? There are no rules. You can make it up completely. Just let your imagination go wild. So now you need to put your alien planet into space. Take a piece of card that's big enough to wrap around half of your oval base. This is going to be your sky. Lay it down and then cut out circles of paper for planets. You could cut them out of coloured paper, or you could even paint them in nice splodgy colours. And the idea is to make different sizes to give the illusion of them disappearing off into the distance. Then glue them down. Dab a glue on the back, and on they go. When you've got your planets, take a chalk pastel and add on some gas rings going around the planets. And just smudge it with your finger. And you can also do the same across the top of the sky, a chalk pastel, different colour, and again smudge that with your finger to make it misty and mysterious. Then take a black marker and draw a range of pointy mountains all along this bottom edge to look like silhouettes of the distant landscape. And then fill in the landscape with black paint. And when you finish your sky, wrap it around the back half of your landscape and tape it into place. Here it is, a fantastic intergalactic landscape that's as weird as your imagination can make it. And you know, there's lots of different features you can give your alien planet. How about going really out of this world, like this ice world, with jagged shapes everywhere? Or even the view from our own moon with the Earth there in the distance. Try it yourself. Take an intergalactic journey through your own imagination and create your alien landscape. So there I was, clearing up after another day in the Art Attack studio. And then it came to me. Yeah, that's just about everything in place. Oh, yeah, mustn't forget the studio lights. That reminds me, I must book my holidays. Here's a really good way of creating a border to display your artwork, or even a piece of written work that you've done using twisty ribbons. Not real twisty ribbons, drawn twisty ribbons. Take a coloured pencil, now choose a good ribbony colour, I'm using this rich pink, then draw small circles in each corner at the edge of your work, like that. Go all the way round, and these will be the knots on your ribbons. Then draw a squiggle out from the knot in each direction around your work. But don't let them touch. See, just stop short before they touch. Out it goes, stop. Like that. Go all the way round, and then start at the end of each squiggle and go back again to the beginning. See that? Back to the knot. And the idea is to get this sort of double squiggle that goes in, out, thick, thin. And again, go all the way round. Then do 2 loops on each knot for a bow, like that, and just double them up. And again, go all the way round. Now to turn your squiggles into ribbons. Just shade each of these sections in lightly, but just leave a gap in the middle of each section like that. And again, there, just shade the ends in and leave that gap in the middle. And look what's starting to happen. As you're colouring them in and leaving this light strip, you get this soft, ribbony texture. Then, to make it really twisty, shade the pointy bits of each section a lot darker. Now, just the pointy bits, and look what happens. You start to get this sort of light and dark shade on the ribbon as it twists and turns. And then do the loops of the bows in the same way, just lightly shade them, leave the gap, and then just shade the pointy tips like that. And there it is, a fancy, twisty ribbon border. Looks good, eh? But to make it even fancier, instead of starting with knots, you could start with flowers and draw the squiggly ribbons and bows around them. And if you colour the petals on the flower using the same technique, just start lightly and then leave that strip, the gap, and then colour the pointy bit in a lot darker like that. You get a flower that looks as if it's been made out of ribbon material as well. Look at that. And I've just done these at 2 diagonal corners this time, but it still gives a good effect. And you could even do multicoloured twisty ribbons. Look at this. This one's got 2 colours together in each corner, and you can use your twisty ribbon borders to decorate lots of different stuff. How's about notebooks and diaries, homemade picture frames, and even your own greeting cards? Try it yourself, twisty ribbon borders. It amazes me, you know, when I look through all the art attacks that you send in, I don't know where you get all your ideas from, but I can tell you where they all go, in the art attack gallery. Wow, this portrait by Charlie has been painted in a cubist style. This great effect is created simply by breaking up areas into shapes and colouring them in different shades and tones. And look at this owl, made by Abigail. I love the simple way it's been created by printing from sponge and bits of card. Now this art attack is a great example of what you can do when you work together. The boys have made a fab collage of a landscape just using torn pieces of tissue paper and shiny foil. Yeah, great collage, guys. What a team effort. I bet you had fun gluing all those bits down. Hey, and that reminds me, you know, of a good little trick I can show you. When you're gluing bits down on your collage, or anything else for that matter, has this ever happened to you? You paste on your glue, and then you come to pop it down onto your picture, and this happens. Oh, look at that. The glue splurges out of the sides and makes a real mess of your picture. Well, it's a mistake that happens to loads of us. But here's a trick that'll make sure it never happens again. All you do is when you're pasting on your glue, just make sure that you leave a gap around the edge. See that? Don't glue right up to the edge. That way, when you press it down and smooth it out, the splurge doesn't come out at the sides. The glue has room to move around, and it's nice and neat. Look at that. Good, eh? So, okay, where were we? Oh, yeah, now I really like this chalk pastel by Dylan. The face looks almost tribal, and the funky design in the background adds to the African feel. Brilliant. And here's a cute art attack created by Emily. She made her portrait using coloured pieces of tissue paper and drawing on the features. I like that technique. And how about this? This coloured pencil drawing of a dragon by Amy is very pretty. It makes a nice change to see a friendly dragon. And look at this crazy art attack. Andrew's given himself a split personality by cutting a picture of himself in half and drawing the other half as a circus clown. Ah, yeah, I love the circus. The excitement, the atmosphere, everything about it. Actually, I've got a really good art attack that captures the atmosphere of the circus really well by putting the performers in the spotlight. Just take a piece of white paper and very lightly sketch a diagonal line coming down from the top of the page, like that, and then draw another going in sort of the opposite direction, like that, and then join the ends of both of those lines up with a curved line, making a sort of cone shape. Now this will be your spotlight, but it's not much of a light without some darkness. And for that, you're going to need a black wax crayon and a ruler. Just turn the ruler upside down and place it along the inside of these lines, and use it to stop your crayon colouring going over the line. Just scribble like this in a sort of cross-hatching technique, doing a little scribble one way and then changing direction, but always butt up to your ruler's edge. See that? Just scribbling up to the edge of the ruler. And when you've gone around the whole of the cone shape in this way, fill in the rest of the background, making the crayon thicker and darker as it gets further away from the light. And your spotlight will suddenly come into view. And it looks good if you soften up some of those edges. Then decide who you want to put in the spotlight. And again, you could sketch this lightly in pencil first. I'm just going to go straight in with a wax crayon, doing a rough sketch. And you know, doing this rough, sketchy colouring technique means that you don't get a solid silhouette. It's very atmospheric. I'm doing this clown. He's got his bald head and his tufts of hair, and like all crazy clowns, he's got great big feet. And I'm going to add on a light shadow at his feet, like that. And then finally, scratch off some of the wax with a plastic knife to create highlights. Just scratch off the wax where the light is shining. So that's the clubs, and don't forget his nose and his boots, I think. And there you have your clown juggling in the spotlight. Good effect, isn't it? And you can get the same effect in different ways. This one is done in red pencil crayon, and I've done 2 spotlights there. This one is done in charcoal, and this one I did in watercolour. Try it yourself in the spotlight pictures.